Hello, cooler fans. I'm the PC Expert Amateur, and we're going to take a look at the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3360. And I will be putting the specifications up on the screen for you. Let's start by looking at what the packaging is like. So one part of the whole container is just filled up with this on top, and this is the mounting stuff, I believe. Yeah, mounting stuff. We've got Arctic's thermal paste in here. It's the MX6. These are 8-pin? Looks like 8-pin JST connectors that go to PWM. This one is supposed to be for the pump, and this one is supposed to be for the fans. So it's got 3 fans, 1 pump, as well as this. This is the mounting plate. So this is probably their custom mounting plate for Intel to try and get better results. But let's be honest here. Arctic Liquid Freezer performs better on AMD than it does on Intel. There is a hard fiber, really thick cardboard. It's got the block and the cover, the water block that is, and the cover for it. So we'll take a look at this. What we've got here, this is the cover, and this is the intake for the fan, which is, I don't know if you can see very well in there, but the fan blades are right in there. And so it sucks in the air here and routes it out through the sides here. And here's our cold plate, which is, honestly, it's a bit on the small side, which is probably why they've got that special plate for Intel. One of the things about this that some people are going to be confused about is, why is all this stuff exposed? Well, it's easier to repair. You can order replacements so that you continue to be a user and customer rather than throwing it away and buying something else. So that saves costs for you. And this is held in place with magnets. Please don't mount it like this, even though the orientation of the logo is like this. If you orient it like this, then you have the problem of the air potentially getting trapped inside here. And that is something that we don't want to have happen. Why? If the air gets between the water and the cold plate, then it can't do its job. If the air builds up inside of the pump in here, that's also a problem. So we've got 2 different devices operating in here. We've got the VRM fan, and then we've got the pump, and we do not want to have air getting into the pump because that's even worse than air getting against the cold plate. So you want to have it mounted with the tubes up or sideways. They put some nice fans on here, but they are not the best fans from Arctic. They're not the P12 Maxes. These are the regular ones. And that means there's some performance being lost. So if you can get this cheaply, my recommendation would be is to buy something much more powerful than these fans and put them on here instead so that you can optimize the performance of this cooler. One of the nice things about this cooler, unless you're short on space, is look how thick that radiator is. This is one of the thickest radiators out there. Now, there are other brands that have thicker ones, like the, I think it's the Height Q60 or something like that, is thicker than this. There's another brand that I showed last week that has about the same thickness as this one. We can also see from looking at this that the fans are daisy chained together. What I don't see is a fill port. I had hoped for a fill port, and yes, I've had this for a few months now. So you can't top it off. You can't drain air out from here. You might be able to do it from here, though. Now let's go ahead and see what this is like. But I did want to point out that This is only packed with cardboard. Hopefully it doesn't get dropped or thrown or anything like that. Before you buy this one, make sure that you have enough space in your case for it. But because the fans are 25 millimeters, the radiator is 38 millimeters thick. So 38 plus 25, you've got a thick radiator. And there are plenty of cases out there that don't have space for this anywhere. And there are many others that only have one place where you can put a radiator this thick. Ideally, having it on the front or on the side is what you want to do. Now, coming back to this cable here, you can see that 8-pin connector with PWM on the other end. So what we want to do here is find the connection port. And if you already put that cover on, you're going to have to take it off because this gets connected in here. You can see it right there, that white thing right there. That is the connection port. So we're going to plug this in here. Just make sure you're trying to put it in the right way. Don't force it in. There are 2 ridges on this side. So you want to find whichever side of the port has 2 slots in it, which is going to be, so it's going to be the slots or the ridges are here and the slots are on this side of it. So we're going to just keep it like this and put it in there and make sure it gets seated nicely, just like that. This will allow us to connect the pump. We're going to hear the VRM fan as well. Because of the way this is put together, you're going to hear all of the fans. Now I'm going to hold the VRM fan so you don't hear it right away, but the fans on the radiator are running too. So at first I could hear a bunch of air moving through there, but now it's pushing that air out and it's either circulating or getting trapped somewhere else, which is, you want it trapped in the radiator ideally. So I'm going to go like this. And it's pretty quiet. That's pretty good. That's really good actually. 40-something decibels. I don't know how well you can see it, but the VRM fan is moving. This can help cool off the components that are around the water block, which if you've got a really hot computer or you've got a computer with poor VRM, heat sinks, that sort of thing, this can be handy. If you've got really built up VRM, you may not even need it unless you're doing like overclocking or you've got a super hot CPU. But the reason that the other fans are running is, why aren't I using this other cable? Well, you can use this other cable, but in order to do that, you have to disconnect the fans from this, because there's a cable running through one of these tubes. I think it's this one. Yeah, this one has cable running through it, so that when you power up this, the power also goes down the tube through the wires and into the fans. As you can see, my shoulder is much better now. I have to say, they are kind of noisy. And also, they're not really pushing that much air through. It's a lot weaker than I had expected to feel. I am surprised by that. I'm going to try to just run one fan at max speed, see what it's like. Currently got just this one fan running, and it's at the slowest speed I can get it to go to. There is simultaneously a very low hum as well as a mid-range hum. I'm hearing some harmonic resonances. Several harmonic resonances already in different octaves. There's another. And another one on a different a lower octave. Higher, higher, lower, and higher. Higher again. Higher again. So it's not terribly noisy, which some people are going to be happy about. But those of you who are sensitive to harmonic resonances and certain pitches and things like that, you're not going to be pleased with this. And this is just another reason for you to find a different fan. And like I said, though, there's very little air that's actually pushing through all the way through the fan. It's very, very weak, even at maximum speed. Yeah. And so STS last year did a video where he took these off and he put the max fans on instead, and the performance was much better. So, you could do the max if you're on a budget. If you aren't on a budget, there are many other fans that'll do much better than the max can do, from Delta, Iceberg Thermals, Fantex, and so on and so forth. There's a whole range of selections out there. Right. So that's basically the end of it. When I found out they had just put regular P12s on this, I was really disappointed because, honestly, this is their new flagship, and they just, instead of making it really great or offering an upper level version with better fans, they just give us the P12 PST PWM fans, and that's not a good choice in my mind. Now, this does do a lot better on AMD than it does on Intel again. So if you have any questions about this, and yes, they do have an ARGB version, if I remember correctly, for all of them, then just leave a message in the comments and I'll try to help you out, okay? Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there, and or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.